Welcome back to Excel 2016, Module 2. This is Part 4. In this video, we will be looking at cell styles, themes, and some of the things that can be done with the Find and Replace option that is available within Excel. You should currently have the morning workbook open, and you should have done some formatting on both the documentation and the sales report. Now we're going to take a look at working with cell styles. So you need to be on the sales report and have the active cell be 4. On the Home tab, you will notice a Styles group. In this Styles group, this section here is called the Cell Styles. And if you click the drop-down arrow, you will see more options. Some people may have an actual button that says Cell Styles. If you do, this will give you the same gallery of options. Part of it depends on how large of a monitor you have and whether there's room for it to be displayed as a button or not. So for B4, we are going to choose the style that says Heading 1. If you look, again, you're seeing the live preview. So as you go over the various headings, you can see that it formats them in different ways. We're going to choose the title style. And right now, it gives us a 18-point blue-gray text 2 Calibri Light font. So that style applied all of that formatting with one click. It applied a font color, a particular font, and a typeset style. It can also apply things like underlines and bolding and other things of that nature. So it combines all of those things into one click instead of you doing them all individually. So now let's look at B5 through F5. And again, we're going to open up the Cell Styles gallery, and we're going to choose Accent 4. Okay, let's do the same two options down here for these headings in 14 and 15. So we will choose Title, and then we will choose on the next row Accent 4. Next, we're going to go down to A25. And on that one, we are also going to apply the cell style of title. So you can see that the cell styles are quite easy to work with. And it gives us the ability to do many formatting options at the same time. Now if you look here, we have Morning Bean Hot Drink Cafe, and we have the same information here in rows, or in A1 and 2 on our documentation worksheet. We've already formatted these. So instead of having to redo it, I could choose the Format Painter and then come over here and click. It will only paint once, and it will paint wherever you click. Now here is one thing that's important to understand. The Format Painter only paints formatting assigned to the complete cell, because over here morning is a different color. That formatting is assigned to the actual data in the cell. And if you use the Format Painter, you are not copying the data. Now, if I were to take this and instead of using the Format Painter, did a copy and then pasted it over here, you would see that it will bring the multicolor over with copy and paste. If you did the Format Painter, you have to come back in and highlight the word morning and choose that gold color for it again to get it set back that way. Format Painter, again, will only paint once, and you must do the individual coloring of text separate, because it will only bring over formatting for the main complete cell formatting, excuse me. Now, if we want to format and we choose B4 through F12 and we choose the Format Painter there, we could come in and paint that formatting here, and it would bring all the number formatting down, all of the percentage formatting down, and so forth, without changing the numbers. You also could format using Paste Special. So if I chose this section here and I said copy, and then I came down here and instead of saying paste, I would choose a Paste Special. This says paste formatting. So I could choose this to paste the formatting without actually changing the data. So you can use Paste Special, and in your text on page 102 it does describe what all of the different Paste Special options mean. And hold on one, there we go. So you do get all these various Paste Special options here, and they would all be explained in your text. So there's a lot you can do with the copy and the paste, a lot more than as a parent. And you also have your Format Painter and your cut. It's important to remember again, Format Painter and Cut can only be pasted one time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And the last thing I'm going to do in this video is the Find and Replace. So let's take a look down here. We've got all these addresses. And let's say that the owner of our facility, he's decided that he wants the street addresses spelled out. So instead of it saying AVE, period, we want it to say Avenue. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this Find and Select, and we're going to choose Replace. Now it says find what? You don't want a section of the spreadsheet to be selected. Just have a cell. And we're going to say find AVE period. Whoops, we need to get the cap locks off. AVE period. And we're going to replace it with AVE and UE. Now the textbook says to click Replace All. That is very risky. And the reason it's risky is because if you don't know your data very well, or if you, for example, left off AVE, the period after it, you could end up with very different results. So if I forgot to put the period on and I click Find Next, it found AVE in the word average in my heading. So then I click Find Next, and look, it found AVE within the function of my formula. If I had clicked Replace All of these formulas would have said Avenue Range and then had the range, which would have, of course, given us error messages. So I prefer to choose Find Next, have it locate the record, and I can say, yep, I want to fix that one. Replace. Then it goes to the next one. I can review the data that it is stopping on and replace each one. If you know that your data is all, you know exactly what's in it, you know it's not going to have any problems, you can do it, but I prefer to use the Find Next. It thought it was done, so I said Find Next one more time, and it didn't find any. So it's changed them all. So we would have to do the same thing with ST period. Whoops. ST period. And change that to street. Again, I prefer to use the Find Next. And then replace them as they find them. And you can see where it is highlighting. And when it thinks it's done, I always click Find Next one more time to make sure it doesn't find any others. Then we do LN period with lane. And that way it may take a little bit longer, but you're certain that you're not changing any data you did not intend to. And here's another example of how this could be a risky thing to do. If these were people's addresses and you had a Dr. Smith as the name of one of the addresses, it would change it to Drive Smith instead of Dr. Smith if you just did a replace all. So I really prefer to do the find next, so I know exactly what is being changed. It gives me more control. And of course, you do have the option of choosing this replace all instead of replace and doing one at a time. Another thing that we can do with the find and replace is we can change formatting. This is relatively new. It's only been available in a couple of versions. So let's take a look here at the find and select again, and we're going to choose replace. I'm going to go ahead and delete the last search that's in there. And I'm going to click the options button. You can see this opens up some additional optioning. So I am going to click the format button. And I'm going to look for the font. So I'm going to go to the font tab, and I am going to choose a background, the color of white. And then I'm going to go to the fill tab, and I'm going to choose the color of gold. And then I'm going to click OK. So you can see now it's looking for gold background with white letters. And what I'm going to change it to in the format is a gold background with green letters. And then if you're certain on these, I feel kind of safe doing a replace all because you're only dealing with formatting. But again, you wouldn't have to. So we're going to go ahead and say replace all. You can see the change that it made. And if we really wanted to get creative, we could say, all right, next I want to go in and I want to look for the green fill color with the white font. And I want to change that to a gold font. And I want to keep the fill color green. So I'm going to change it to have gold text with the green font, or fill. And so I can replace all there, and you see that. You could also do changes such as I want to do the gold font. Whoops. There we go. And what I want to change it to is maybe I want to add it bold. And then you would get the bold of the yellow letters. The thing that you do want to be sure of is that after you're done, you need to make sure that you clear the formats. So you come in here and clear the find format and clear the replace format prior to closing. If you don't, it can mess people up the next time they go in and try to do a find and replace. It would still have that information stored in there. So that's kind of a neat feature that they've added to the find and replace, is that you can do formatting. So if he said, oh shoot, our colors are really supposed to be green and gold, and so we want that in all the text, you'd be able to quickly do that. The last thing we want to look at on this video are the themes. So we're going to go over to our page layout, and you see this theme option. Notice when I hover over the different themes, you have colors changing, you have fonts changing, and you get a view of what the changes will look like before you choose that particular font. The reason some things change and other things don't is because some are standard options and some are theme options. So if you look back here, we always have green fill here and green letters here. That's because the green was a standard color. It's not going to change no matter what theme we choose. However, the gold was a theme color. So when I choose a new theme, the gold changes. And you can see the green stays the same, but the gold changes. Okay? You can also create your own themes. So that's kind of neat. I've had some people that I'm aware of that create a corporate theme. And what they do with that corporate theme is they have their own set of colors and fonts and styles, and every employee within the organization uses that theme for every document they use. It gives all of the work a look of consistency throughout the entire organization rather than each individual choosing their own thing. So themes can be very helpful, and they can be set up corporate-wide as well. That concludes this video. So if you are interested in conditional formatting, come back for the next video.